Well, I just finished reading chapter 93 of JoJolion, and overall it was a very solid chapter. Though I still pretty much prefer the last chapter, but that's kind of a chapter that's really hard to beat in my opinion. But either way, let's get started. First and foremost, the cover. I'd like to talk about the covers first. Very similar to the last chapter. The only one significant difference, that being that Tsurugi is not on the cover anymore. Instead, Momozuku replaces him. And in my last video about chapter 93, I did predict that Momozuku was going to have a lot more of a focus in this chapter. And no, he doesn't make an appearance in the chapter, even though he's on the cover, but either way, let's get started. So, first and foremost, I was very confused in the beginning of this chapter, and I think Araki kind of likes to do that, because it's like, whoa, what's going on in the beginning? It kind of alludes to something that's a little bit more obvious than it really is at first glance, and you see this new character, he's walking around in the hospital, and it's like, who is he? And then he eventually, he goes up to a specific room, and then we see Josuke, and Josuke's wrapping up this weird package. It's like, to be honest, my first thought was like, okay, this definitely looks like a bomb. But, it could be. We never, it doesn't get confirmed as of right now what is in that package, but he gives it to the guy, and then, writes out an address, and he's like, are you sure this is the right address? We don't know where it's going to be addressed, but I'm sure it's going to be to the Hishigata household. And then, Josuke, I guess, bribes him off with cash, because he's like, oh, you're paying with cash, so, that's kind of interesting. And then, we get to see Josuke in the room with his mom, Holly, in the hospital, and, it's like, see ya, to the delivery guy. I guess we'll call him the delivery guy. He's off delivering this mysterious package. Josuke's with his mom in the hospital. Then he re-quotes what she said, I have the quote on my iPad. It's okay if I'm made to go after him, So, I guess he has that mentality. Maybe it's not going to the Hishigata household. Maybe it's somehow going to make it to the head doctor. It's really weird. I have no idea what could be in this package, but maybe it's like something contained within one of his soft and wet's bubbles. Maybe, though I have no idea where this is going, but Araki always manages to surprise people. But then immediately, this is, very early on with the chapter, we cut to Yasuo. She's stalking the Hishigata household from the outside, but she's able to kind of lurk and stalk him within the household with Paisley Park. While this is all going on, something just seems a little bit off. The overall vibe of the entire household. And then we get to see, well, first and foremost, it's such a weird thing, because Paisley Park's stand is so mysterious. Like, yes, I know it has obvious, powers and stuff, but I feel like I don't remember it being able to go into phones and, manifest in that. It's really weird. But, she's able to make Paisley Park go into Joshua's phone, so she kind of gets, complete access to seeing what's going on within the house. And, we see Joshua for the first time in a while, to be honest. That kind of gets a little bit of the spotlight, so that's good to see. That's something that's a big problem in JoJolion. A lot of characters, since there's so many of them and they're being hashed out, a lot of characters don't get to see a lot of screen on time, or significant screen on time, so this is good. And, he's trying to comfort his dad, and we don't know exactly what's going on. Yasuo's like, something's really off, but, he's sad. And Narusuke, it's weird because he's supposed to be this really optimistic, character, but he's very down in the dumps. Joshua's like, what's wrong? He's trying to comfort his dad. And that's really cool stuff, because I think this is going to help with Joshua's character development, In the beginning, he was a character that was very selfish. He literally almost got Josuke arrested for a selfish reason, and there was a specific arc with him making money and stuff like that. But overall, now he's becoming selfless and caring about his father, which is a really cool transition. It's very subtle too, which is great. But we don't know the reason why Narusuke is sad. Joshua goes up the stairs, and then Paisley Park just sticks out her hand, pushes his phone out through his pocket, falls on the stairs, and then crawls into the room because she sees. And this took me off guard when in this other room that Yasuo's Paisley Park is in. there was this person. I'm like, wait, who is this? I'm like, oh my god, that's Tsurugi, because, you know, the rock disease really took over him, and I'm like, wow. It took me a while to process who that was in the room, and, you know, Yasuo's like, yo, what's going on? Tsurugi just says, you know, get out of here, you know, like, I try to cut off all the internet for that reason, but we don't know why, like, you know, Tsurugi doesn't want, like, her to be there. It's very suspicious. Throughout this talking, Yasuo just cuts to the chase. She's like, look, do you know where the new Rokaka is? The one that's currently being grown, that literally has the most climactic countdown going on. But at that moment, the phone gets flushed, like, thrown in the toilet, it's, you know, being flushed. I'm like, okay, we all know who it is. It's Jobin trying to flush. Poor Joshua, dude. I feel bad. No wonder why he's so, you know, annoying in the beginning. Dude, he always gets scummed. Now his phone is being destroyed in, you know, the toilet. But obviously, since Paisley Park is in the phone, the effects of, you know, being flushed is taking effect on her. Which I'll probably maybe make the thumbnail of this video. Joshua's like, not Joshu, Yasu is like choking underwater because, you know, she's practically drowning through this. And then, you know, Tsurugi ends off the chapter saying something like, oh, you know, I'm so sorry. You know, she obviously, I mean, because Tsurugi's always dressed up as a girl. I always confuse that, but, you know, he's like, look, you know, I'm sorry, but this has to happen. We can't let anybody find out about this. And then the chapter just ends there. Okay, there's a few things that, you know, to reflect, and some speculation I'm going to throw at you guys. Well, I don't know if Yasuo is screwed. I mean, she was like in the standard size form with her stand, you know, before she went into Joshua's phone. And, you know, can't you, I mean, I guess if she leaves out of the phone to stop the drowning, I mean, Jobin could just use his stand to kill her, which, I mean, Paisley Park does not have really good, it's not an offensive stand, or defensive at all. It's just a very niche, specific stand. I mean, it's very powerful within that regard, you know, gaining information, but combat-wise, no, Speed King would definitely outmatch that. So, I mean, I don't even know what could happen. I mean, maybe, because Paisley Park, like I said, is a very weird stand. A lot of the rules are not concrete always, and I feel like Rocky kind of adds all these little technicalities. I mean, does she have to, like, take it out of the phone and make it walk to her, or could she just be like, alright, like, whoosh, go back to where she is, like, standing outside, you know, like, or maybe she has to find another phone. I feel like that's not always concrete, but either way, and then I'm trying to think, like, I mean, yes, I guess flushing the phone down the toilet is an effective method, but why didn't Jobin just use Speed King to, like, light the phone on fire? Like, if he wanted a quick kill, that would have done it. Like, you know, I mean, it's like a Galaxy S7, like, that thing would blow up like that. Like, it would have been a done deal. You know, I mean, maybe he wanted to be cruel and, like, have a slow, painful death. God dang, Jobin. I don't even know if Jobin's still the villain at this rate, too. And the head doctor seems to be pushed, like, outside of the ground, too. I mean, obviously, you know, Josuke's part of the story was also pretty interesting. Like, I mean, the delivery guy in the hospital, again, took me off guard. I don't get the point of, I don't get the point of this package. Like, I have no idea where it's going, but I'm going to be very amazed at how this is all going to come together, because it's going to all come together. I mean, there's 3 stories going on. Josuke's story, Yasuo's story now, and Mamazuka, where is he? We haven't seen him. I thought he was going to come back in this chapter. I mean, I can't even say for sure he's going to. We haven't seen him in such a while. Like, I mean, not like crazy long. I mean, there's characters that we haven't seen in a very long time, but, you know, like, poor man is probably in prison. Dang. But I would really like to see what's going on with him. I guess I'm gonna predict this again, but I think maybe the next chapter we have to get some information on him. I mean, I think it's a little bit overdue at this rate. And it doesn't have to be, like, entirely about him. It could be, like, kind of what they did with Josuke's point of view, just, like, you know, like in this chapter, like how long he kind of got some screen on time within this chapter, like, yeah, just maybe a few pages, like a quick scene or two, that kind of thing. Before I end this video, I want to wrap up a few thoughts on Narusuke and Tsurugi. Well, I mean, one, I feel really bad for Narusuke, because I mean, he's probably gonna have to do that sacrifice stuff, similar to what his mother did, and then Tsurugi, wow, I feel really, really bad for that's a lot of pressure on a kid, you know, like, yeah, like he really, like, cares about Yasuo, and then, you know, she gets practically flushed down the toilet by his father. I don't know, it's really tough stuff, and I don't know how a lot of this stuff's gonna end. You know, we have, you know, that foreshadowing moment, or that flash forward, I guess I'll call it, where Narusuke's in a body bag and Tsurugi's dragging him around part of the Hishigata household. I don't know how that's gonna all, like, mesh together, but still. And one extra side note that I didn't mention in my last video is Josuke's new design with the stone patterns going down, like, his face, down his body. I actually really like that design. I mean, it's not amazing, but I think it kind of, like, I don't know, it just looks cool. Like, it just looks cool. And I didn't say much last time because I wasn't sure myself that this was gonna be, like, a consistent design through and throughout. But no, it seems to be. I mean, in this chapter, Josuke has that pattern going down his face through his body, and I think that's really, really cool. I feel like Rocky and JoJo in general, a lot of characters, especially main JoJos, they don't really change their designs too much, unless they age, like obviously Joseph. You know, he got older twice, but you know, he doesn't really take those risks with changing design drastically, unless it's like subtle things like his art style evolving, etc., you know, throughout the run of a specific part. But okay, I'm gonna make a quick, definite prediction of what's gonna happen. Maybe in the future or next chapter, we obviously don't know. Okay, first and foremost, where do I think the package is gonna go? Well, I feel like the only destination is really the Hishigata household. I don't know any other, because they specified address. How would he know any other person's specific address? You know, like, the Hishigata household is the only address that he would probably know by heart, because he doesn't even have Yasuo's basically part to tell him all this information. So I think it's going to that household. I don't know how or what is going to happen. Maybe the head doctor was at, you know, Mitsuba. She was, you know, she saw the head doctor outside, so maybe he's lurking somewhere there. But you think everybody in the house would have noticed? Also, we didn't get to see Mitsuba at all, which is really weird. We have no idea where she's at. Okay, I'm recording this a little bit later, but dude, oh my, dude, how did I not notice this? Okay, first and foremost, I want to have a little bit of the extra elaborated thoughts. I mean, I'm obviously editing this right now throughout the day. You know, I've been looking through everybody else's reactions and whatnot, looking back, more time to think about the part. Boy, oh boy, just want to mention a few things before we actually get back to the video, because this is a little bit of an intermission, I guess. Josuke, he's becoming one of my favorite JoJos right now. Like, I swear. What? Dude, ultimate pimp lord sitting in the chair. Dude, I love that picture. That sums up Josuke's character. He's kind of unpredictable. That's what I said. He's kind of a little bit like Jorno, which is amazing. I love that. Oh yeah, and also, people think that the package is gonna go to starts with a D. I cannot pronounce it. I'll show a picture of him somewhere on the screen. During, I guess, the guy the enemy stand user in the blue Hawaii art. Basically him, the stone person. That sounds really cool because, like, if you don't remember in blue Hawaii, the stand user, the ability to stand, blue Hawaii, aka the arc title name, would basically, it was kind of like a it was a parallel comparison between Part 4 of JoJo, with Josuke 4, call him Josuke 4, or OG Josuke, where he was getting chased by that foot stand all around town. Basically, what Blue Hawaii does is it kind of makes this zombie virus fiasco, and you know, throughout that arc, Josuke's getting chased all around, and basically, eventually, the whole town kind of turns into this zombie-like manner, and then eventually, Josuke actually does get defeated, but the point I'm trying to make is that they were chasing Josuke. They were made to chase Josuke. Now, I don't know how they're going to get like a previous villain to go on Josuke's side. I don't know what he's putting in that package to sweeten the deal, but if that is the case, that would be brilliant. I don't know for sure, but man, that theory sounds really cool. I guess we'll call it the Blue Hawaii theory or whatever. That sounds really, really awesome. And again, it'd be a parallel to part 4 because Josuke, I forget his name. I'll show him on screen, but he enters him in the hospital, and then he's got those 3 girls with him. And then Josuke's like, look, I'll fix your wounds. He's like, alright, now I'm just not going to do what you want to do. Boom, beats him up. But then, that guy helps him out first against that other stand user when Koichi was in a bit of trouble. So, man, it may be a bit of a parallel comparison. Otherwise, that's really interesting. To wrap it up by intermission, badass Josuke pose, love that, becoming one of my favorite JoJo's right now. And 2, the Blue Hawaii theory would be really cool if it came into reality. But yeah, other than that, let's continue the video. And, alright, now. Yasuo, what do I think is gonna happen to her? I mean, I don't think she's gonna die. I mean, that'd be kind of harsh, but at the same time, I don't think anyone significantly has died. Oh, okay, never. Alright, never mind. I'm not. Okay, I mean, spotlight characters that have died. Well, actually, technically, I guess she did, but okay, no, we're not talking about that. I mean, like, main consistent character. Okay, I guess Narusuke does, but well, I'm just contradicting myself. But nothing to like a level of like Sagechi dying in part 4. God dang Sagechi, or like well, I'm about to spoil everything. Bruno and all that jazz. Part 5 and whatnot, or Narancia. And, nothing that heavy like that has happened, where it's like a very, very tragic death. I don't think that's gonna happen to Yasuo, because that would be kind of a little bit too much, and I'd be very deeply saddened. I wouldn't want that to happen. I think she'll make it somehow. Maybe that box Josuke's setting up is gonna help her in some way, or like I said with her stand, she can just call it back quickly. And then Jobin, like I said, should have just lit the phone on fire and made it blow up, because then if she can recall it back, she could just tell everybody, hey, Jobin is the bad guy. Which I don't even know who oh, by the way, I can't sing the Amamuzuka's part because we don't know anything. But yeah, I don't know who's gonna be the bad guy. I think Jobin's mother is probably gonna be. I'm still calling it, dude. Like, I don't see Jobin as his bad guy. Like, I feel like his motives. I mean, yes, he has somewhat motives, but I feel like they're not as like. I mean, when you go back to like Funny Valentine, the motives don't like stack together. Like, there needs to be like this grand plan. I don't think the head doctor is on there. There needs to be this grand master plan that's gonna like unfold, and we gotta be like, wow, because like if Jobin or the head doctor were the villains, we would have like we would have been like, okay, 100%, we would have known by now. But like we haven't gotten that aha moment, and I think Kato, I believe her name is definitely gonna sneak in at the end and be like, okay, I was the OG, like, big lord at the end of the day that was devising all this crazy mass planning. But, yeah, I guess that's my weird prediction. That probably is not going to happen. I'm still waiting for a 7-page aura, but considering the way Josuke is going at it, I don't think... I mean, he's sending a package. I don't think he's going to, be interacting with... be really interacting with the head doctor, specifically not in the fashion he'd be able to do a 7-page aura. I would love that, but... either way, I'm gonna wrap it up here because I feel like I'm rambling on a bit. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, like, sub, all that jazz. If you hated it, I mean, you can tell me off in the comments. Love the feedback always, even if it's positive, negative. If it's good feedback, it is what it is, and I take it to heart. Yeah. Like, now I just want the next chapter to come, but it should be coming out in January 19th, 17th through 19th. I think it's every 19th of every month, so when that day comes, I will review chapter 94. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for everything. 100% appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.